Hi, I'm Logan Alexander, and welcome to the Diarrhea Diaries, a guide for those who have to go on the go. I have IBS, which stands for Irritable Bowel Syndrome in the medical community, or in my life stands for I'll be shitting. So I know pooping in public pretty well. A lot more than I'd like to, but as well as you need to. My poop pain is your poop gain. Within these episodes, I'll review and rate the restrooms of various establishments, such as restaurants, retail stores, or any establishment that happens to have lavatory services. I'll use the traditional A through F rating scale, as it is something everyone is familiar with, and F is the beginning letter to the word feces, which is not only relevant to the subject matter of fecal matter, but it is a fitting insult to many poorly maintained restrooms. So if you're struggling with a related digestive disorder, know that you're not alone and that you have a butt buddy. No, I didn't mean that. Get your head out of the toilet. These reviews will be helpful for business people, new immigrants to a given area, or those who simply have to travel a long distance in a vehicle to work or school. Aside from restrooms, I'll detail the very personal yet very hilarious dismal dumps, hence the diarrhea and diaries portion. You get to laugh at my misfortune, or learn from it if you're in a similar situation. Now, without further ado, let's get to the first review. And I suggest before we do, you prepare to digest a large load of poop puns in each episode. Or do your business elsewhere, because I can't hold them in. My bowels decided to postpone my pooping until I was off school grounds. So I urgently sought a reasonable place to accommodate my due delay, though I had a small frame of time to decide before it was decided for me. It happened to be Subway, and I think their slogan should be eat fresh, but not feel fresh. And aside from the fact that Subway's food is not fresh, neither was this one's restroom. Like the food, it wasn't rotten, but you've certainly had fresher. I've been to a few locations, and certainly the location matters, as inner city ones are notoriously dirtier. But overall, I've had the same experiences and observations, and you can expect this from most chains. The appearance was plain, with a dim yellow hue, like a banana that had been sitting out for a few days. And I don't expect masterful feng shui or rich style amenities, but it is nice when your surroundings of your shit make you feel a little bit less like shit. So I'll give this one a C. The cleanliness was average, just like their subs. Nothing too much to complain about, but nothing to be impressed by either. The toilet seat wasn't caked with feces or period blood, and yes, that happens far more often than you'd think. Though there is occasionally the pee on the seat from the selfish-minded Neanderthal, male or female, who doesn't either lift the seat or hovers. And I'll discuss this vicious cycle in another episode. Every other visit or so, I'd see some toilet paper or paper towels sitting on the ground, but I imagine they were left there by someone in a rush with similar problems like myself, or from somebody who just had less manners. Therefore, I don't blame the staff, and I'll give this one a B. I have to say that almost all Subways have a single toilet restroom, which means total privacy. You get to poop in peace. So if you put too many jalapenos or put too much Southwest sauce on your sub, the whole restroom doesn't have to hear your Subway cars thundering into the station. And they don't have to hear me wincing in agony, making deals with Jesus to make the pain go away. There is a reasonable distance from the restroom to the rest of the store too, so they don't have to hear that either. And this particular location, off of 98th and Old Shakopee, doesn't receive significant traffic. Though that's when I go there, or when I went there, which was at 2 p.m., I imagine they might have a lot more around rush hour because it's off of a freeway. But overall, I'm going to give the privacy factor an A. The toilet's plumbing took care of a generous dump. I have not tested its limits, nor do I want to. The toilet didn't have an automatic flusher, so I was happy about that. I don't like to feel like I'm on a pirate ship at sea getting cold water sprayed on my ass before I'm finished. So I'm going to give this one a B+. The toilet paper, unacceptable. When is civilization going to advance out of Neolithic era butt wiping? We put time and money into phone apps that can calculate the time spent shitting at work, but we can't provide something consistently beyond coffee filters masquerading as toilet paper that chafe your butt after just 2 wipes. I'd almost rather bring my own or use my hand. I basically do because my fingers punch through the very thin sheet and I get crap all over them. That's unless I compress it into a neutron star or fold it 30 times in an accordion. And that's if I get enough off the roll. You pull a bit off and you get maybe, what, 4 squares? Is this just shitty engineering, or is this some sort of systematic rationing in order for the stores to save money? 4 squares. 4 wipes. Big Brother's watching you. Yes, they're there to serve food and not to wipe my butt for me, but we can do better than this. I think, though we might disagree on whether we should have universal health care, I think we can all agree that we should have universal government-sponsored non-sandpaper toilet paper. I mean, you want to be able to get enough out of it, too, that you don't have to waddle out of the restroom like you threw your back out for fear of having to throw your underwear out. You know what, in this, it needs government intervention because it's a crime. My hole is raw after I'm done. And that leads me to the first of many emergency shit tips. Shit tip number 1. If you find yourself in a situation where the TP is poor, your ass is sore, or you have to go a lot more, the ones where you're wiping so much you want to switch hands, just turn on the faucet. Cold water, a little bit. Not so much because it'll ruin its structural integrity. This is particularly important why you need to find a family or single toilet restroom. So everyone in the restroom doesn't have to see you running a bunch of wads of toilet paper under the sink and you look like a freak. Like me. And with that, I'm closing the lid on this episode and washing up for another. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, email me or comment beneath the video, or go to the doctor. I shouldn't have to tell you the last part. And remember, though your bowel might be foul, your restroom doesn't have to be. You don't have to poop in silence. Actually, most people would prefer you do. This has been Logan Alexander with the Diarrhea Diaries, wishing you freer farts and peaceful poops.